But I'm told there's somebody in the room called Pamela Abila, who is here to just maybe make very brief remarks on Abia. Is Pamela here? Yeah. So please, because we are running short of time, you can just take maybe 3 to 5 minutes just to make brief remarks on behalf of the women.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I first want to apologize for having come a little late. And also, I bring greetings from Honorable Rosman this morning to you. And also apologies. She was supposed to have been here, but was delayed for some reasons, and then she missed her plane. So she said me to come and represent her. I want to thank Kara for this day and for this forum, because this is a forum that is going to make us, at the end of the day, be knowledgeable and be able to know things that we need to know and how we need to access information. In brief, when I talk, if I want to talk about our office or what the office of the county women rep does, mainly even the projects that the office of the women rep does are national government projects. Most of the things are in the county, and we can only add value but not do anything from scratch for issues to do probably with water, irrigation, and all that. And therefore, in such cases, we only add value. The Women Reps Office has received from the government a fund called National Government Affirmative Action Fund. And we deal with affirmative groups, that is the youth, the women, people with disabilities, and the old. There are a number of things that this fund was supposed to be doing, like civic education, which we have done in every sub-county, and also bursaries, which we have issued many checks for students in high school and colleges. In terms of development, the office mainly is working with the women groups and youth groups, and has rolled out a poultry keeping project with the youth groups and the women groups, whereby they've been given chicks and feeds. And there is also the fishing industry, where we work with some youth groups that have had fish ponds and have been given fingerlings. Some of the challenges we have also with the youth and the women groups is that when you give them this and you expect that they will also grow from this, sometimes it doesn't happen so. There is a youth group that harvested very well, and they came back and said, okay, you gave us fingerlings, we took care of them, we harvested, and we sold. Okay, you sold it, so what next? We want more. And that is a very big challenge, because we need to be people who also appreciate when we are taken off the ground, we need to walk. We don't need to be taken off the ground every now and again. You're made to start walking today, tomorrow you're back on the floor. If we are going to continue like that, then it becomes very difficult for us as citizens to develop and to improve our lives. The main issue that the Women Rep as a person has been looking at is food security, and we all agree that food security is older than Jesus Christ himself. And if we go to Genesis, we'll be able to read how Joseph dealt with it. And we need to look so much on that so that we are able to move, because we know very well that without food and without water, no human being would be able to function well, because water also takes like 70% of the liquid in our body. And therefore, when we are able to embrace well the activities that we have or that comes, only then we are able to go and move forward. The issue today was about a devolution, of which we appreciate very much, because devolution is very important to us. And we all have to agree that any newborn child will have to crawl and walk and finally run. And this devolution thing is like a newborn child, which is still having challenges. It's crawling, it's going to be walking, it's finally going to be running. And when that is happening, we need to appreciate every step of it that we go through, so that we do not demoralize even the implementers. Because when things are being implemented, there are always the bad sides and the good sides, but we need to be proactive and not reactive when even the wrong sides are being experienced. Because when we get to the reactive mood, it sparks fire, and of course it brings a fighting environment, which is eventually not very healthy for a young thing that is growing. I am not saying that to support or to defend the county government to say that they have been performing very well, but I am saying that to say that for us as citizens, for us as the people of Kisumu and the people of Kenya, we also need to play a role in having our baby devolution walk and run to greater heights. There are some issues that are also affecting devolution at county levels, and of course that is the disconnect. And when I talk about the disconnect, is about the awareness. We need to be knowledgeable. I noticed one time when I went to another sub-county, and the people were like, we have not seen this, we are not experiencing this. And when eventually issues were mentioned one by one, what has been done one by one, the very people who were complaining started clapping. What does that mean? It simply means that we are not connected to the people, and we are also, as citizens, not well connected to the government, so that we are able to have the information that we need to have. Each and everything that we need, we have to go out for it. But we need to know the truth, because the truth is the key to knowledge, and knowledge is the key to freedom. When we cannot have knowledge, we will no longer be free. We will stay bound like the chicken that he talked about, because we do not have knowledge. And we need to have knowledge of the truth. We need to know the truth of what is happening so that we have better knowledge of things going around us, and eventually we will be free. We will have that freedom, and we will not be always just talking from no base. There is the community involvement. I have experienced a case whereby the county government has gone sinking a borehole which was much close to a borehole that was sunk and was serving, the water was piped and serving a radius of like 3 kilometers. And the water that was flowing, piping had already been done up to less than half a kilometer to where the county government sank another borehole. And it was on a sloping area, meaning that they could have done better by developing the existing borehole, which actually did not have a proper tower. Actually, it's temporary and a tank. They could have developed that and make the water flow even further to reach the people than sinking a borehole in a place that the water has no way of going up. That other water is flowing by gravity. This one would have to need power to flow up. I think it is important that the county government does a thorough survey and identify some of the existing projects that only need improvement, so that they do not need to take a lot of money doing new things that eventually will not have much impact. We need each and every project that is initiated in the community to have impact on the people. Why make people walk for like a kilometer when eventually you can use less money to cover that 1 kilometer and they don't cover the distance by walking? It's also good to get from the community, just as it was mentioned, what they actually need. One time there was a donor who went sinking a borehole in a place somewhere in Kajiado, thinking that these people really needed water so that they could not walk for 3 kilometers to get their available water. But when the water was fully done, the women still went past the water point to the 3 kilometer water point. And he was like, what is happening? And so when he asked the women, they said that they go to that place because then that is where, as they walk to the point, they get to meet along the way and discuss and talk and of course just be away from issues at home. So as much as this guy thought these people needed this water so much, they actually didn't need it. They were comfortable with the distance that they were covering. We also have one issue, which is personal interest or ambition, especially with our legislators, whereby they of course do not involve the community in speaking of saying exact needs that they have, and they bring up to the county government what they themselves feel they should put there, even though the community may not need it. But they bring it up, they install those projects, and these projects don't move. Why? Because they are meant for political ambitions. It's like, I did this, I did this. But what impact does it have? Let us be able to check around and look around and handle or work on the exact needs of the community. There is the agriculture. When we talk about food security, we are actually talking about agriculture. You realize that when you go down to the village, I don't know if we have extension officers anymore. They are not there. When our office wants to work on food security, we don't miss to do agriculture. And when you go down to the village, you find people have very little knowledge about these things that have to be done. But at the same time, you find that we do not have the experts that are supposed to be there, stationed there, to help their community. Even the peasant farmers, sometimes I think the rainfall is just good and they could do better. But they lack the experts to give proper advice to them in terms of crops and farming technology. Unfortunately, we still depend on the old technology whereby we just go and throw the seeds and hope that by divine intervention they are going to sprout and grow and we have a good harvest, which is not working well anymore. We need to check on new technology and better ways of farming to be able to have better harvest, because the rainfall has become unpredictable these days. Sometimes it comes too much and destroys the crop, and sometimes it doesn't even come. And what can we do when that happens? We need better ways. We need better ways of doing our agriculture. In terms of information, I want to charge each and every one of us here, because you find that when we come to such forums, usually you meet almost the same faces in such forums, and when we come here, there isn't a cord, an umbilical cord connecting us to the people on the ground, whereby we are able to give back information that we have come up with from such forums. And that is why we have the problem of information down at the village. Why? Because the people who keep coming for these forums do not pass over the information in a proper manner. And if they do, it is halfway, or sometimes not at all. They make notes like we've been making notes. We go back to our houses, we keep all these notes for ourselves. We do not tell the people this is what is happening. And therefore, we keep having the knowledge as the people who keep attending or being found in these forums. And the people back in the village keep being ignorant to the issues that are going on. If I may finish on a spiritual note, God is speaking to Hosea and telling him, my people are perishing because of lack of knowledge. Let us please go back, give information to the people on the ground. Let them know what is happening. Let us advise them, because some of them do not even know the ways of accessing information that is important to them. Let us tell them how to access this information and how to do it, so that we are all knowledgeable and we all work together so that we build our community, our county, Kisumu, which we will so love after that. Thank you very much.
Yes, Chair. Because we're going to house questions together. So thank you very much for those very inspiring words. And of course, we also do agree that when you have information, you need to share it. But I think it's also the primary responsibility of the government, be it the executive, the legislator, to also find mechanism of empowering people with information. So even as women rep office, I expect that there should be some mechanism through which we communicate and get information down to the people, so that it's not just about us sitting in the room, but also the government is taking its responsibility. Because if people are not informed about what you are doing or what you are planning to do, then you will expect that at the end of the day, you'll have this kind of blame that you're having, that you're not doing anything. So, and I know in the County Government Act, there's a provision that the county government is supposed to develop mechanism of citizen participation and engagement. through which you can channel your issues and also get information from the county government. And that has not happened. So I think in almost all counties, and we need really to address that. So ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for us to engage and just listen to you. I know we really overshot our time, but I think it wouldn't be fair to have you here and then send you away without giving you a chance to also express yourselves. So I'm going to take a few questions just to hear from you. Questions, comment, and please, my appeal is let's make it brief and to the point. Tusianze siasa mingi ama maneno mingi. Let us just get a question, tell the person, direct the question to the person, direct, and make it very brief and to the point, so that most of us can able to ask the question. Let me start this side, and then I'll come to the other side. So from this one, how many point to ask questions? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start with the first two from here, please. Very brief to the point.
Thank you. Yes, I'm full body. Yes, I just want to ask something about service delivery. And just a point of mind that we all know that what administrator is the eye of the government and what the control force. And if that's so, is it in order for the two people, that is the MCs elected from the people and the ward administrator, to share the same office, the same building? You know the one is a politician, the one is a civil service. And here, we know as the guy representing Senator said, there is lack of management. And there is, we always know that there is money allocated for the office of the ward administrator. And you find these people in the same office. So I ask myself, that money which is allocated to the ward office, what does it go to? Because the ward administrator is already accommodated by the MC. And you find he's doing more politics rather than doing the service work, which is positive. And is there any disciplinary action which can be taken against that word admin who is not doing his work but doing politics? And number two, like Mr. Nyango said that we don't need more people in the factories rather than we need technology. Yes, it's true. And he also said that Kisumu has the most employable youth. Yet there is no those employment opportunity for the youth. Are these things contradicting? If they are most, they can be employed. Why are they not being employed? Yet you are aware they have the skills.
Thank you very much. The next one,
Alex, Madame Kilo is my name. I'm a member of the civil society. As it has been said here earlier by Aura, it was said here that Uta said here that election has given democracy a bad reputation. And I really 100% concur with that. An election is the most vulnerable moment for politicians. Actually, I'm also very grateful with what our presenter here has said, Mr. Michael Onyango, our honorable minister, that he's envisioning that Kisumu can only compare with being #1 in Africa. I was really disturbed some few days ago when some few border people were taken here to go to Rwanda and to go and study Rwanda, a failed state, a state that 1 million people were massacred. So, straight on my point, and I'm basing mine is just a comment and maybe a question will also arise. A 1 minute question. What Nani was saying here, Babu, what Mr. Babu was saying here, that the problem in Kisumu is about management, poor management. You get that these people that were being taken to Rwanda, it is only in Kisumu, here in the whole Kenya. I've walked in Bonn, I've gone in Webuye, I've gone to Mombasa. It is only in Kisumu where border people don't pay taxes. And they are cartels, they cannot even allow you to go and pick a passenger where they are. So you take 10 million or 6 million, you create an avenue for some people to rob money that they are being taken to Rwanda where they are hosted in a church center, and 6 or 10 million is being spent. You know, it is not that much okay. So as I'm sitting down, I'm just requesting that members of the civil society who are sitting here, and Canada to some extent, we have maybe our representative of the women that was not aware. But the information that comes from this soil trickles back to the ground. And it is very, very important to have an institutional memory. People who have been championing the right of the people in this city. For example, Audio Gada was in this one, I don't know if he has left. As ourselves, we've attempted to take Kisumu County government to court. As I'm speaking with you right now, the file disappeared in court when the case was when the case became hard. They went to the old system that you want us to wish away. There is still impunity. And me, as you are seeing me sitting here, I'm very, very new from youth. I've retired recently with no exit strategy, but I am a former youth. Sasa ninapomalizia kabisa because time is not with us. I'm really requesting that these people, majority of the people who have been in civil society, let them not be divided that me wanaona huyu hapa sikuja hapa. Audio Ghana played a very important role in giving us some evidence that we managed to launch a very formidable case in the court there. So me, I'm praying that with our new minister here, Onyango, understand a lot of issues concerning the youth. Nimeona kama kuna dalili ya mambo mazuri huko mbele, but finally as I'm sitting down, Mr. Minister, when you go back, what is making the evolution not be felt in Kisumu is the artificial mountain that is there. It is now called Gotranguma. That is the waste management at the Kataka next to stadium. So if we can eradicate that one, then we can see that the evolution is with us. Thank you.
Let's start with brief. Because we want to ask questions. 1 minute, please. Let's make it brief so that other people can also get a chance to ask questions.
Thank you very much. I just want to allow Kara to organize this wonderful meeting. And my questions are mainly for two, Mr. Onyango, and probably for the women rep office. One, I will start by asking you, maybe just looking at what you commented in terms of the extension of the roads, the kilometers. I just want to know whether you've already gone to those roads and know their status, or it is just a kilometer. Because as I speak now, the roads are worse than some of the houses were demolished. They are left opportunity for theft and everything, and you just claim the kilometer. So it means you may not know about the roads, but just about the status of the roads, but only the kilometer. So kindly, if you're representing the county on that note, ensure that the person concerned with the roads is aware about the roads which are done, whether they are in good state or bad state. Then the second is about now your office, the communication office. I'm so happy to see you today because I have several attempts to come to your office. I get other people who do not even support me at the level I want. One, you just spoke about the senator's office. Your work is very much disconnected and you don't work as a team. And that I want to assure you that it has brought a problem to the county. You need to sit together because when I come to your office and I want some information from the Senate's office, I can't get it. So that does not work well because as much as we may have personal differences or other issues, but to us as the citizens of Kisumu, we need to be in a better position to access the information. May I know from your office whether you have communication strategy for Kisumu, and if it is there, is it working, and what are the tools put in place so that we get the information to be shared with us about the youth taken for entrepreneurship training, all those. If you have the strategy and you have the methods and the system, then probably all the Kisumu people could be informed. The team you are seeing here are very much informed from the CSO, and we've been working together as much as they may have several challenges within their CSO's methods. So I would also want to hear that from you, and are there documentation as per everything you mentioned? Because mentioning and putting them into documentation, where as a person or institution can go and find anything in relation to Kisumu County. So make us aware where we can get all the information. Now this we talked about digital. Can we click somewhere and get all the details we talked about there in relation to Kisumu County, or they are just verbal, about the kilometers of the road, about the water, the sanitation and everything. Can we click? Because the other time I just wanted information from people, I tell you, it is rugged. You can't get the right information. Some are ancient, past. You can't get the even the information. Some they are really not in the standard as you stand here and tell us. Then finally to the women rep office, we are so sorry, I'm part of the women, but you've left us. Tell the women rep that she has left the women. We are not working as a team, we are not working together. So kindly tell her to have, there's a disconnect between women and the women. So tell her, before 2017, let her be very careful. Because we have women here, I one of them. We may change the position if she's not really working with us. Let us, you talked about the affirmative action funds. How do the women and youth get hold of this? All discuss at them? Because the information you are giving us here, only a few may know. I know we can't sit and wait for the information, but also give us opportunity so that we can get access to those information. Otherwise, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sana.
Thank you, sir. My question goes to the communication. You have said that we have the structure from governor up down to the road. I do agree, I see some people there. But to my surprise, I don't know what they are doing. For example, I'm from Migosi. Go to Migosi. The ward administration is based in Migosi Health Center. There's only a chair there and a table. Second, as an officer representing the governor, do you have any yardstick to measure the performance of this ward administration? One of them was recently involved in selling a plot of a person within the community at 2M. How are we going to tackle this issue? This administrator, appointed on political will, is now messing the community. Third, we have talked about this money, 1 million. I'm hearing for the first time. We have the ward administrators. For me, I'm proud because I had a board which was put by the NCC Health Center where the manager is. I've never seen anything posted in that board. Where are these people putting these messages we are talking about, putting messages of ACA? Recently I heard there were some books and some what you given out in my ward. I don't know how you selected these books, from where, and which account. Thank you.
Asante sana. This side, yes. We come that side.
Thank you, the current people. First, I must appreciate the invitation that you sent to people, particularly me. Just when I came in, the advisor to the senator was talking about the functions of the county. I want to ask the county representative, go back to the office, make sure the functions of the county are devolved to the village level. That is my request. Make sure it is devolved to the village level. The Constitution says it should be devolved to the extent that is practicable. When it goes to the village level, it is practicable. I also want to say, my friends, we have failed as residents. We have elected people to the county assembly who are coming from the class somebody was talking about them. Those people who do not know what they are doing there, they are only making noise there. In other words, I'm saying we elected the former councillors of the municipal council of the county assembly. We did not know that there is a difference between the municipal council hall and the assembly hall. They learned to that. All right? So that is our mistake, the residents. Let us go back and make sure we elect people who are going to understand their role in the assembly. The other part I want to say, I want to ask the county representative, are you aware that the ward representatives transformed their campaign committees into ward committees? And if you are aware of that, are you aware that people who are campaigning for the MCAs are people who are semi-literate? And if you expect them to give you the development proposal, you are making a mistake. What I'm suggesting, the county should make sure that the committee that is in the ground is actually the committee they know their credentials.
Not this.
There is no need saying that if we take money down, go to the ward office. We have gone there several times, but we are talking to people who do not understand what we are saying. Thank you very much, Madam, from the office of the women representative. But you are giving color, you are all. You are saying you have come here several times. Have you seen me how many times I've been here? Let me ask you to go and talk to the women representative. That civic education fund, let it be used for people from here so that you can go down to the ground, give this one to the people on the ground. Yes. Thank you very much.
Santa Sana. Few more from this side. This way. But let's make it brief. Professor Alimi. So let's make sure that at least make it brief.
If I look myself, I have degree. If I look behind me, this guy was doing from 4. We are the same way we act in the different. And the guy here. Then you say most of the people with disability who are not being qualified. The only answer is this. The people who are working for the county government, they know they are giving the job.
I didn't say that.
Some of them, they are in class 8, or they are in class 8 level. Most of them.
Yeah, you clarify.
So, I'm wondering myself, what happened? Because we are coming there for several times, and there is nothing, even our price is there. For if I come for the you see that for 30% for the people are applying for tenders. We have our companies, yet we are not giving any business at all. And the time of Governor Aguma is gone. Where do you want to give us? We are not in power. It's gone. It's gone. I don't know what I don't know what the office of the work of the remaining. I don't know what they are doing there. In fact, it's going to be banned there.
Yeah, let us have one funny question. Please.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this function. My question goes to Mr. Pierre. One is one of the questions I have is that what strategies do you have in place to ensure that people are aware of the importance of education? And then two, we're talking about the companies that we need to invite. We're talking about employment, but then I think if they are retired, then we are going to give them market status because farmers are willing to are there, but then if they don't have market, they cannot farm. So I think look at it good, not in terms of employment.
Thank you.
Then to women rep, yeah, please give me
Yeah, that's one.
here.
Okay.
To our women rep, I'm supported that she's not here. But I don't know how do you recruit the people you're supposed to? And are you in the other marginalized population, the women who are very much marginalized? How do you recruit them?
Okay, thank you. One question, please. Yeah.
Thank you very much. My question goes to the Honorable Minister. My question is, as in our area, we have been attending the public participation from Calabunch and Togo. But since the enactment of the county government, we have not seen any development in our area. And we have informed the water administrator, we have his number, even in Facebook, we chat with him. But he has not even done any development. The MCA is our neighbor. From our place to her place is just around 10 to 20 minutes. But we tell her every time that we have problem. There was a road that was constructed in our area. The drainage is directed towards the estate. So anytime rains come, houses fall down, we have to evacuate our areas. So we tried every time, even we propose. Every meeting we go, that's the proposal we put through. But nothing has been done.
The question is that you give views but they're
But
not,
they're not
don't
done.
see them.
Yes.
Development. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Mr. Obiambo Kamare. I have one question for the Honorable Minister. There is a Wi-Fi at Kosara. Can we have one in all other words? Wi-Fi. And Alfred Adongo talked on the participation in foreign public participation. The issue is that you leave your commitment to attend this forum, and at the end of the day, your views are brushed aside. Can we have a way of dealing with the issues being inputted into the whatever? Well, if we have can we have the issues being reflected? Yeah, you call it as here for half a day, and the things we have are for a whole day. So you are rushing us up. I've got around 4 questions for each of them, and I can't ask them. Because you are rushing us.
Yeah, that's a reason for that.
So I'm asking the last one. I'm asking the last one to Mr. Babu Karani. He talked of the inefficiency of governance, or election of governance. Mr. Babu Karani, don't you think that the way the governors are elected makes them vulnerable to entrepreneurs and common wananchi who voted them, also leaving them susceptible to their sponsors and MCS? Is there something we can do for the election of the governors? Thank you.
Asante sana. Proceed.
Okay, thank you. I'm calling John Kennedy from the State University. My question was basically to the member of our county executive committee. My question is, don't you think there's a problem with personally, before you went to so many other issues of trying to get into the challenges that you face, don't you think there's a problem with the Kisumu County? And if so, and this is an approach to all of us here, don't you think these people should just step down and, for that matter, refund us the money that we paid in down the salary and immigration, so that we have a new team that can change the situation in this country? Because we are going to talk and we are going to respond. And I assure you, Kara, that if you organize another meeting and call the county members, we will talk, they will respond, we'll call another meeting, we'll talk, and we'll respond. That's the cycle is very important. Thank you.
Okay.
I would like to ask that since the meeting started, we had given our views as we always come to us, and then we failing to go any further. But whatever has been approved to us, we have seen even in the budgets where the link was given 9.2 million, 450 million for the road, and other things which we asking. But up to today, not even one has been done. I even had things which are said but never implemented. Where does this money go? And why do you put it in a budget and you know that you're not going to do it? Migos is classified into 6 places. And particularly, what we normally say has never been done. As I had somebody say that when they go there, they do their own things. I think it's us to do what we should do. And in this respect, I would like also to know what are you looking towards this matter. Particularly, Kenyari has been elected and it's one of the very good places in Kisumu, and it's also to be upgraded so that Kisumu looks the way it should. Thank you.
Asante sana. I know we have a number of question panelists. You should just take all of them and then we respond at once. Rather than doing another round. And some of them will want to
My name is
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Can you the mic?
Thank you so much, Kara, for bringing this particular forum. I believe the county government has a structure and given a budget for organize this kind of a forum, but they are not doing so. Now, Article 174 on the object of devolution is very clear that it derives on the accountability. It derives on the promotion of democratic governance. Article 201, the principle of public finance, is clearly said that we must manage our funds openly and we must be accountable. Article 232, the values and principle of public service, is again highlighting the same accountability, public participation. Article 10, our national values, again, bring us all together in the county government. All of us as people in Kisumu, whether you come from where, but you have a stake here, you under Article 10 have certain rights and certain privileges. And now you go to Article 73 of the Constitution, responsibility of leaders. Now you are again tasked to have certain responsibility. Now, with all that, I'm happy Dennis has said all that I wanted to say, that young man. We are not blind and we are not deaf, all of us. We are seeing what you have done, we are hearing what you have done as well. We must agree certain things have been actually ongoing, by the minister. But then, if you are to use or work within the threshold of the law, why are we not having annual address? The governor's annual address that is required for us to participate. So you are finishing your tenure without having an annual address. That is a total violation of the object, the purport, and the spirit of the revolution. You will ask me whether we have had it or not and why. Two, a city board and city manager. Why are we not having the city board? Yet urban areas and the Cities Act is clear that we must have a city board. What is the fear of the governor constituting this provision on the legislation? Again, that's abuse of the law. Now, three, the county secretary